When you're trying to get home to film a smart home tour, but you live in downtown Omaha, Nebraska, and it's the College World Series, it's all easier said than done. See you in a few.
What up, everybody? Welcome to my smart home. You want to hear something crazy? I started the channel in January of 2021. Since then, we have done 13 smart home tours, and we've lived in 5 different places in those few short years, which is crazy. And you've seen them all on our tours. This time, we lived in the same building, but we were down on the 1st floor. We've moved up to the 7th floor because we're gaining a terrace. We're calling it the Shangri-La, which we're going to show you. And we're gaining some better views being up here on the 7th floor. Now, this building is called The Breakers. I've talked about it before. It used to be an abandoned power plant, and a company called New Style takes these old buildings in Omaha and revitalizes them into apartments, and we love that. We've lived in several of their properties. You've seen them. But because of the power plant theme, it's very electrical themed in this building, and this is called The Fuse. The floor plan is called The Fuse. Our last apartment was called The Voltage, and we called it Voltage Studio. So we live in the boiler room part of the building. Just lots of cool names, lots of cool themes in this building, and we very much enjoy it. So it's ran on about 95% Apple Home, or Apple HomeKit for you old schoolers. For those of you that don't know, Apple Home is Apple's smart home platform. It's already built into your iPhone, your iPad, and your Mac. Cool way to control your smart home. That's what we're running this one on. There are a few random items, but most of it is Apple Home. I'm going to take you room by room, show you all my devices, and tell you more about this place. Let's start right here in the foyer. All right, when you saw me walking in, you saw 2 things out in the hall. You saw a video doorbell and you saw a smart lock. The video doorbell is from Reolink. It's actually the Reolink battery video doorbell. It's a 2K video doorbell, brand new to the market. It's actually their 15th anniversary edition. They sent me a nice little care package. I've been testing a lot of their products, and they're so sweet. They sent me a t-shirt and a bunch of different things, but that video doorbell was in there, which is very cool, and I very much enjoyed using it. I really like that video doorbell. Then also you saw my smart lock, which is the Yale Assure 2 Plus Wi-Fi. I know that's a mouthful, but there's a lot you can do with this lock. But my favorite feature is that it's Apple Home Keys. And so you can use your watch and your phone to unlock it. That's the main way I unlock it. There's also a keypad. You can control it with the lever. You can control it in the Apple Home app. But I like just walking up with my watch. That's my favorite way to unlock it. Then we've also got some sensors on our doors and our windows. We're going to talk more about that throughout the apartment. These are from Ecobee. It's a motion and contact sensor. Tells you if the door is open or closed. It also tells you if there's motion. So it's part of our security system here in the apartment. Above us and to my left, we've got a lutron switch and our normal lights. All of our normal lights have been made smart with lutron switches. And then all the accessory lamps you see in this apartment are all Philips Hue. I picked those 2 because they both have hubs that plug right into your router. And I know we all say that we've got too many hubs, but I like hubs. They make things more reliable. And Lutron and Philips Hue do not fail me. So all my accessory lighting is Philips Hue. All my main lighting is Lutron. All right, right above my Lutron switch, I have my ecobee Premium Smart Thermostat. You can really tell when I like something because it lasts the test of time. This has been in several of my tours at several of our properties, and I just love this thing. Not only is a smart thermostat, which saves you a ton of money using the ecobee sensors. You have different ecobee sensors. You'll see I have one in each room. Takes an average of the temperature instead of just basing it on where your thermostat is. That helps you save so much money. You can control it from your smartphone, the ecobee app, the Apple Home app, tons of different things you can do with this thermostat. But it is also a security system hub because you can get their video doorbell, their smart cameras, their sensors, and this actually becomes an alarm keypad. Now I can't do their video doorbell here because I don't have doorbell wiring. Otherwise I'd probably try it, but this is great. Thermostat and security system. Now, one of the things we gained in this apartment was a third bathroom. Downstairs, we only have two. So in this bathroom, it's not too exciting smart-wise, but I do have a Lutron motion switch. So when I walk in, it senses the motion, turns on the light and the fan, and then when I leave the bathroom, I have it set to about a minute after I leave that it turns back off. All right, moving on to Theresa's wing. She's got her office, she's got a closet, and then she's got her own bathroom. I've said it in other tours, I can't wrap my brain around people that share bathrooms. We do not. So we've got our own, one on each side of the apartment. So in her wing, in her office, we've got several different smart devices. We've got some Philips Hue bulbs in these lamps. Bought those at Nebraska Furniture Mart, very famous furniture store here in Omaha. So we've got 4 of those. Down below, we've got a Yale Smart Safe. It's Apple Home compatible. And again, Yale, just like my smart lock, but you can control that safe with Siri. We've got our ecobee room sensors. We've got a HP Smart Printer, which you can control with AirPrint, so you can use that with your phone, your iPad. We've got our Grid Studio art. These have been on our other tours. They do some really cool art with different devices. This is the iPhone 4S, which is the first iPhone with Siri. But they take it apart, tell you some different information about it and the history and stuff. Love Grid Studio art. And then Theresa made a homemade one for me. She took an iPad Nano with the same concept and made that for me. So that's pretty cool. Now you might recognize these shelves. They were in my old studio. They were always behind me when I was filming. So because my studio had to change a little bit here, she inherited some of the things that were in my studio. But right up there, we've got Sticks Fooling Yourself. That was given to me by my daughter, Delaney. That song has a lot of meaning for me in my cancer journey. I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor, and she bought that for me. But it changes colors. You can scan the Spotify link. It takes you right to that song. So that's pretty cool. Another little Easter egg in my videos. I've got that note there. That's from Shane and Caroline Watley. If you don't know, Shane Watley kind of inspired me to start my YouTube channel. They sent that to me with a care package very early on in my cancer diagnosis, where a time where I really needed some uplifting, and that note and that care package did that. And because he's been part of my YouTube journey, I thought that was cool to have it in my studio. And so now here it still proudly sits. And then if you watch the channel, you know Alibi Security is my favorite brand as far as wired and VR systems. I've had a great relationship with them since 2008. And last year I won their Strategic Partner of the Year, 2023. And they sent me this nice little award, which is very sweet. Let's move on to her desk. She's got some AirPods Max. We also use that out on the terrace to watch movies, because there's a lot of noise here being downtown. We've also got trains nearby. That noise cancellation is awesome. We're running this entire smart home on HomePods. There's pretty much one on every room. We've got a lot of 12 South accessories. They work great. Apple and 12 South hand in hand as far as their accessories go. Love their products. And then we've got the Secret Lab Magnus desk and the Titan chair. And I've done videos on these Secret Lab items, and I love Secret Lab. All right, and then over here behind our door, we have the 43-inch LG C4 OLED TV. It's a smart TV. Now, every TV in here has been refreshed for the 2024 model. They're all OLED models, one form or another. She's got the 43-inch C4. And then even though it's a smart TV, I am using the 4K Apple TV. You can see there down below it. I've got a Sonos Beam. Basically, If you know me, I've got the battle between HomePods and Sonos and HomePods and Sonos. For several months now, I've just decided to embrace both. I use Sonos for my TVs and movies. I use HomePods to control my smart home and for music. And that's how I compromise, and it's worked well for me, so I don't have to go back to my insanity. Then over there, you've got the ORBI mesh. That's the 970 series. The good old $2,300 ORBI I did a video on. I love that router. I do have 3 of them in here, one on each wing and then one in the middle. And so we're running this entire smart home on that ORBI 970. Then over here on this side of the room, if you watch the channel, and again, a shout out to my boy Shane Watley, these are the good old Watley chairs. Check out some of our old tours. We've talked about that. And then we've got this Aromatech diffuser. I'm a huge neat freak, and I also like to have things smell good. So this diffuser is awesome. I used to have a different type where I had to make it smart with a smart plug. This one's got an app, and it's smart on its own. And I really like these Aromatech diffusers. They look nice and modern and high quality, and their different scents are awesome. And then again, all our lights are Lutron. So here's our light switch for Theresa's main lights. Okay, and then in both Theresa's closet and her bathroom, you saw the Lutron motion sensor turn that light on when I came into this room. So we've got the sensors in both rooms, and then in her bathroom, we also have a HomePod. All right, moving down in the living room from the Ecobee thermostat, next we got the Reolink Argus Track. That is a pan tilt camera, 4K. It's got the motion tracking, so if it was looking at me, it would follow me. Right below that, we got the Eufy S1 Pro robot vacuum mop. I love that robot vacuum. The mop is a very unique design. I love the trim station. I love the touchscreen on the top. If you just want to go over and touch it and start the vacuum, it's awesome. And dare I say, cleaning is sexy. Theresa gives me crap for saying that, but damn it, as a clean freak, I love to clean, and I think that vacuum is sexy. All right, then we've got my G4 75-inch OLED. And again, the G stands for Gallery Edition, meaning it has a low profile. You can also see artwork on this TV when you're not using it. Then I've got my Philips Hue gradient lamps. There's different colors throughout the lamp, which is awesome, gives that nice accent on the wall. I've got my Apple TV 4K. Even though this is a smart TV, I like the Apple TV interface because I'm an Apple freak. I got my Sonos Arc for the surround sound. In addition, I got the ERA 300s behind me, and I've got a Sonos Sub Gen 3 over here and another Philips Hue lamp. So that is this side of the living room, and of course the track lights above me are Lutron. All right, on the other side of the room, first of all, the Beatles. Man, you gotta have the Beatles everywhere, right? Love this art. This is my little command center. This is where I sit. So again, I got the ERA 300s, which I've already talked about. I've got a little station from Anker. It's got SD, USB-C, HDMI, USB-A, headphone jack. I don't have it plugged in right now. I'm just using it as a mount, but this thing is awesome. Plug it in and do all sorts of things. I got an Anker 3-in-1 charger. Basically everything, cables, chargers, everything in this apartment is Anker. I got a HomePod, and then I've got the Hue lamp, just like on the entertainment center, but I have them on these 2 tables here. All right, then I want to call out this bad boy right here. This is the Ava universal remote. Now it's normally sitting on my table over there. You do connect it with a USB-C cable, but you know, most universal remotes, I always end up going back to my phone or tablet just because I don't really use them, or I just use my Siri remote with the Apple TV. But this one's different. Now, the only thing I don't like about it is it's ran by Android, and I'm just not an Android guy. But because it's ran by Android, not only does it have the normal universal remote, it's got this cool ring that changes colors. These little buttons here change depending on what you're using with it. So whether it's my LG TV or my Apple TV, you actually get those function buttons that light up. But in addition to the regular universal remote control functions, you also have the Google Play Store on this thing. You can get any app from the Google Play Store, most apps anyway, but Sonos, for example. So this isn't just some cheap Sonos interface. This is the actual Sonos app on a remote control. And it's not just Sonos. I can do Philips Hue, I can do Ecobee, I can see their actual app on my universal remote. I can watch YouTube on this thing, YouTube TV. I can actually watch TV on my universal remote. This thing is very well made. It's very premium. And yeah, other than being Android, I love the Ava Universal Remote. All right, then over on the other side of the couches here, I've got another Philips Hue lamp. I've got the ERA 300 from my surrounds. And then I've got the Eufy H11 Handheld Vac. It's got a couple of attachments that I've got in the little drawer in the chair there. But yeah, really modern looking, just great and portable. And I'm a huge neat freak. I think a lot of you know this, so I would have one of these everywhere if this place was a little bit bigger, but we just got the one. And it complements the S1 Pro beautifully. And then I've also got the V1 Ultra behind the chair, so Eufy vacuums everywhere. But anyway, that's what's going on this table. Then right here, I have my Signe, the Fuse. This is made by Yellow Pop. I had one in the Voltage studio. I actually had two of them downstairs, just the one here. But so that's an awesome little neon light. You can control it with the remote control, but I also used the Philips Hue smart plug, which is behind this table, to make it smart in Apple Home. Now, it's my first time with the Philips Hue smart plug. I've used their lights for years and all their other accessories, but normally I use another brand smart plug, but I'm really liking their smart plug. It's been pretty flawless. So anyway, that's my Fuse Signe. Next up, we got my other battle station, my desk / studio / everything. It's where I run everything. Running this on the MacBook Pro 16-inch. It's the latest model. I just loaded it with specs. My last tour, I had the Mac Studio plus 2 Mac Studio displays. I decided the Mac Studio was redundant having the laptop because the MacBook Pro is so powerful. And again, loaded with specs, I was able to get rid of the Mac Studio. I love the Mac Studio displays, but I wanted the bigger screen for editing. So I got the 48-inch LG C4 again, OLED. And I've also got an Apple TV hooked up to that in addition to my MacBook Pro. Then I've got the Sonos Generation 2, and I'm using that for my Mac audio and the Apple TV audio. I've got 2 gradient tubes behind the screens. Those are Philips Hue, one longer one shorter one, giving me that effect on the brick. I've got an Anchor Work. That's a conference call speaker, and it's really cool. This was on Kickstarter. It's got voice isolation, so it's great for conference calls or working at home in general. I've got the iPad Pro 13-inch. This is the latest model with the newest Magic keyboard over here. I've got the Beats Studio Pro headphones, and then around the corner, I've got the AirPods Max because I'm a little bit of a headphone freak. I'm sitting at the Secret Lab Magnus desk. This is the sit stand version, so I can raise and lower it. And then I've got the Titan chair, just like Theresa's, except mine's the larger size. And then, I don't know about you, but I just pulled the plug and I just got all the betas. And for me, the Mac beta alone, the iOS 18 and all the new betas, I love this screensaver, man. Just runs through a bunch of the Macintosh history, and it's so cool. So there's the wallpaper and the screensaver, but the screensaver is badass. But that's my little workstation. Real quick before I get too far away from the living room, we talked about the Ecobee sensors at the front door. I know that's hard to see with the light coming in, but these sensors, again, are contact sensors. So anytime I open that window, I can get notified. They're also motion sensors, but this is really about the contact. But the other cool thing about Ecobee sensors, since it's tied to your thermostat, anytime those windows open, I can automatically have my thermostat shut off the climate control. And then anytime they're closed again, it'll turn back on the climate control. So it's just another way to save money. So these sensors are not only good for security, but also cost savings. All right, getting back over to this side of the apartment. This is our little beverage station. We've got a couple different things here. We got the Arkin water filter. That's great for water. You know, cancer survivor, water is very important. I drink that all day long. We've got our HomePod. Again, this whole place is ran on HomePods. That's how I control a smart home. We got a smart Keurig. You can control this from the app, have your coffee ready, different things you can do with the app and Keurig. And then we've got a Black & Decker wine fridge. I've said this before. Somebody gave me crap in the comments of one of my tours a long time ago that I was storing my wine improperly. So all this cool gadgets and all this cool stuff. And the one thing they took out about it is how I was storing my wine. So anyway, they can't say that anymore at this cool Black & Decker wine fridge. And real quick, I've said this before. Some of you are watching our tours for the first time. If you've ever watched my videos and you see this tattoo, that came from that painting. This has been in every home I've ever had. My dad painted this painting in 1969. He was a great artist. He had an art gallery in New York. He's from New York. And this is called The Tortoise and the Hare. And it's the hippies versus the police, basically. But yeah, really cool painting from my dad. And goes well with the Beatles across the way. Very psychedelic and all that good stuff. But anyway, just thought I would mention that painting and our beverage station. Speaking of sentimental things in my life, like my dad's painting, this is very sentimental to me. You've seen this in several tours. This is a stoplight that was used in a Detroit rail yard. This was in my aunt's yard when I was a kid. It was green, I painted it black. I made it smart with Philips Hue bulbs, but very sentimental to me. You know, I am a stage 4 cancer survivor. She's a cancer survivor, I believe about 10 years now with breast cancer. So a badass. I love that woman. But anyway, so got this from her. And then the stand that this is on was made by Theresa's brother, who unfortunately lost to a rare form of cancer. We were very close in age, only separated by a day in our ages. So he welded this for me before he passed away. And again, cancer is a bitch. And I'm happy to be where I'm at right now. But badass cancer survivors put a lot of heart into this, and I love it. And happy to have it as part of my home. All right, now in the kitchen, I can't get as crazy as I would like because we're renters, so I can't switch out the appliances, because trust me, I would, but I did what I can. I've got the Revolution Smart Toaster. I've talked about this before. I love this toaster. You can change the different types of bread. You can do fresh, frozen, or reheat. You got your different brown levels. You've also got a gluten-free option. Love that freaking toaster. I got the Sonos Move 2 portable speaker, part of the Apple ecosystem because it's an AirPlay 2 speaker. Now, it's portable. I don't use it much inside, but we do take it out to the terrace, the Shangri-La, and so it's awesome to have music out there, and that thing can thump for a little speaker. Up there, I've got some Philips Hue play bars. Gives us that nice color above the cabinets, a little accent lighting. Again, the spotlights here are controlled by Lutron, and so are these kitchen island lights. Over here, I've got another LG OLED. Again, this is the C4, 48 inches, just like on my desk. Sonos Beam Generation 2. And then we've got an Aromatech diffuser over there to make it smell nice, right next to an ecobee sensor. This trash can is also smart. I can wave with motion, and I can also control it with my voice. I can tell it to open and close. Pretty cool. Smart trash can from Simple Human. That's basically it in the kitchen. Like I said, I did what I could. All right, as we enter the bedroom, not only do we have the ecobee sensors, but as you enter, you've got my Schwinn IC4 bike. I've talked about this a lot, but it's very important to me because as a cancer survivor, I believe my time on this bike is saving my life. Nice out right now, so I ride my bike outside. I got a Cannondale, but inside I ride this Schwinn. Same bike they use in the Apple Fitness Studios, and I love riding with Sharika Holman. I'm telling you, that woman is an angel from above, and I love her, and she helps stay me fit when it's not nice out. All right, over here, we've got another little table where we've got a charger, and we've got another Aromatech diffuser, and then we've also got a Philips Hue lamp. Now this is the Go lamp, so I can actually pick this up and take it out to the terrace, which we do. Over here, I've got a HomePod. Again, HomePod in every room. And then we'll talk about the table on the other side. All right, then on this side, I've got my 970 ORBI. Again, running my entire home on that mesh system. Got another one of those Anchor docks for my iPad, just like in the living room. Another 3-in-1 Anchor charger, and another one of those Philips Hue Go lamps. Then over on this wall, I have the 65-inch LG G4 OLED. The one in the living room was a 75-inch. Again, that G4 stands for Gallery Edition. Got the Sonos Generation 2 again. That's the Beam, and Apple TV 4K, and an ecobee sensor. All right, and then as we move into my closet, if you watch the channel or you know me, you know that I'm a freak about my apparel. I was an Adidas guy for a long time, and now I'm a Nike guy. People ask me all the time how I'm doing on my shoe collection. You be the judge. This is all Nike. I was excited when we got this apartment because I get a bigger closet. If you watched my last tour, you could see how I had all my shoes crammed in. We got them there. We've got them there. And we've got them here. And also up there. All Nike, and then every apparel item in here is Nike. All right, moving into my bathroom. As I enter, the Lutron motion switch will turn it on. I've got a Eufy Smart Scale. I've got my 12 South Apple Watch band display. Love that thing. I actually use all my bands now because I can see them. Right below that, I have my Apple Watch Grid Studio art. I thought that was fitting considering my bands are right above it. Then I've got a HomePod. I've got a smart toothbrush, which is a Quip. And that's basically it for my smart features in the bathroom. All right, last but not least, we have the Terrace, or the Shangri-La, as we're calling it. Man, do we love it out there. Smart-wise, we've got a couple different things. We've got the Sonos Move 2. I just take my laptop out there and go to work and listen to some tunes with my Sonos speaker. I love doing that. Got a little hook on the wall. I just hook it up there and go and hang out, or just take it to the table with me, whatever I want to do. Then we also have those Hue lamps that we take out there at night. Very portable. They've got some great battery life that can pretty much last the entire evening with us out there. Sometimes we'll just go chill with the lights, or sometimes we'll watch a movie out there with my new outdoor theater. I bought a 120-inch screen. I've got the Anker Nebula 4K projector. Now it's got the Google TV interface built in, but I love using it with the Apple TV just because I'm a HomeKit guy, Apple Home guy, and an Apple freak. So that's everything out there smart. And then in smart security, we've got the Reolink Argus Track, which I did a video on. We're using it with the solar panel. And then I've got the Reolink Argus 4 Pro with a solar panel. That was actually my last video. Check that out. Love those cameras. But the Argus 4 Pro has a nice 180-degree angle, and it's awesome for this wide view of the city. And it also does a cool time-lapse feature. We've got some amazing time lapses already, including a really cool thunderstorm, which was amazing to watch on that camera. But yeah, we just go out there and hang out in the evenings, daylight, whatever it is. We love having that terrace. At the last place, we just had 2 little balconies, so this was a nice upgrade. All right, that's it. That's what we're calling the Fuse and the Shangri-La. What do you think? Is this your first time watching one of our tours? Have you watched all our tours? Like I said, I think this is number 13, which is crazy. 5 different places since 2021. We're going to stay here a while, I think. I just can't handle setting up these smart homes all the time from scratch. We did this in 8 days. We have lived here for 8 days. So with that being said, I've got all this in here in 8 days. Do you have any suggestions of anything else I should do? Because I'm always looking for things to add. Please let me know in the comments. But I'd love to know what you think about our tours, and I'd love to know what you think about the channel in general. I appreciate your support very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And until the next video, peace and love.